Once again, Pirate Life Adventures is back for your entertainment.
Following our latest episodes and announcements of our upcoming projects, you know, just crossing the Atlantic and all, we wanted to take you through how your favorite pirates have been preparing for the crossing. Just to remind you the trip.
Ça, puis après ça, toi, vas-y, que moi, je vais ponctuer avec des niaiseries.
Voilà, go ahead.
In the Bahamas. I knew it. Start.
And this is Alexia. She lives in this boat, and still she finds a way to hit her head so hard on the back of the boat. It has a name. It's called doing an Alexia. Alright, so our plan this year, crossing the Northern Atlantic Ocean. It's a big plan, but we've been ready for it and been getting ready for it. So how we're going to do it is going to be a little bit special. First of all, we're going to be leaving for the Bahamas. And then, because it's not much of a detour, we're going to stop in Bermudas. From Bermudas, we're going to do Azores.
What are the Azores?
The Azores are a chain of, I think there's 7 islands? I don't even know how many. Around 7 islands. I should double check that information. In the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, a little bit to the east of the middle. The Azores, because we both need to work and make some money, and our work is mostly in the summer, we're going to fly back to Canada, spend the summer in Canada, make some money, do some work.
Shows.
Do some shows, go back on the boat, and then keep going to Europe. Look what we got here.
Here we are, following...
I'm filling your face. Don't put it. Look what we have here. Look what we have here.
So here we are, following into Hugo's parents' footsteps, because they've crossed the Atlantic more than one time. And here is a map from 1976 where they've marked down and traced down all their routes for all the crossing they've done. So you can see here 2005, 1978, 79, 76. So this is all the routes they've taken in their own navigation patterns. And ours may be a little bit different. You can see here, Bahamas to Bermudas to Azores to, I mean, you know, we'll see somewhere around there.
My parents have actually, my dad has crossed it 6 times. So the first time he did it was in 69 or 70 with a 29-foot sailboat. He went around the Atlantic Ocean, so crossed it back and forth twice. Then, let's move in here. I'll try.
Pas dit grand chose. Everybody knows Hugo knows he's going to talk a lot.
Yes. So, not too bad. We are leaving in May for the reason that it's the best time of the year to go, because we are before hurricane season, which starts in June, but as late as possible in the winter, because in the winter the storm raging in the Northern Atlantic can be extremely rough. So later in the season, like we are, we should have, you know, the depression should be too hard and too tough, so it's a good time to leave. Once we're gonna be in Bermudas, what are we gonna do?
We're gonna get some water, gonna get some fuel, gonna get some food, gonna get some sun, and we're gonna get an extra crew member.
Correct, because we have to be awake day and night to keep an eye on the changes of wind, otter boats, which is one of the most dangerous things out there, and you know, thunderstorms. And we're gonna go back at the end of August and leave as fast as possible from the Azores to Europe before the winter storm gets raging again at the end of September, early October. Right. As we say, we're gonna go
With the wind!
First things first.
What about the boat?
Alright, so today I'm going to show you what improvements we made on the boat so that we're ready to cross the Northern Atlantic Ocean. First of all, the first thing I did, I bought a really strong and solid boat. That was a blue water boat that could do that kind of crossing. That's the first most important thing. One of the first changes we did this year, I should have done before, is an emergency tiller. So if ever the system for the wheel, I lose control of the boat, it can be very dangerous. So first of all, I already have a steering autopilot that is direct onto my rudder. So this is the first safety. And then we made an extra safety this year, which is a nice little bar I can put in. And if you can take a look here, you can see how strong this boat is built. This is the tube from the rudder. So unless my rudder falls off, this is extremely strong and I'm never going to share that thing. And I can, in safety, put that in, put the bolt in, I can still drive the boat in case of emergency. we're doing it. Emergency tiller, right? In here, last year we've added gas tanks, so I have one here and I have another gas tank. You can't see that's under here, so I've doubled my gas capacity, my diesel capacity actually. So another thing we did on top of putting the beam unit, I used to have only one backstay, and now I have two backstays. I have one backstay here and another backstay here, so I'm all doubled up, right? Going into the same way of thinking. Another thing you really don't want is to lose your mast. And so almost everything on my mast is doubled up, especially since in older designs, I have two middle stays. So now I have two backstays, I have two middle stays, one here and one here. And on top of this, you can see here, I've changed my plate and I've reinforced my chain plate with a safety here. So I've doubled it up, beefed it up, so I have very few chances of anything.
And these go all the way to the middle and the top of the mast, and they hold it in place, right?
Another thing we did last year is here, there's a little system that's hidden right here. Most people don't see it, but I have a roll furling boom. So instead of putting reefs, I have a little system here where I can turn my boom and I can reduce my sail as much as I want without having to move from around the mast. Another very important thing we did too, we got a brand new mainsail. Remember last year we had this, 65 knots of wind, storm stuff, ripped our sail, ripped a little bit our sail, well, totally ripped our sail. So we had to get a new sail, which is a great thing, so we have a brand new mainsail to go there. And then going forward, well, we have the tongue on, so we have a new one that my dad did. Unfortunately, it was not as strong as we thought. And there was a bit of pressure on it the other day. It actually broke in compression. So I've started fixing it, but I'm gonna reinforce the whole thing on two-thirds of the land. So now I'm gonna have a really strong tang on that's not gonna break.
A spinnaker pole, right?
Spinnaker pole, correct.
What do you use them for?
We use them to bring one of these sails. Say you're gonna be straight downwind, or the wind's gonna be a little bit from over there. If I want to bring one of my sails out to this side, if I try to bring it out, it's gonna collapse all the time. So you're gonna put the spinnaker sail on here and push the sail out, so this way I can have two of my sails out. And then one of the big improvements we've done this year is we have another sail here. So what I can do is I can use a spinnaker pole to, for example, this sail out to this side. Then I can use this sail and bring it out to this side, so I can use only two front sails, like a huge spinnaker in front, which is going to bring me downwind very fast, even in light winds. Extra thing too, having this second sail also adds an extra stay in front. So I have two stays in front, two in the back, two on each side, and only two going to the top.
You also made it more dry, right?
We also made it more dry, right? So here, these were very expensive, so I got two brand new hatches.
And they are dry.
Correct, so now we have a dry boat. We also sealed all of the windows they used to open because they always end up leaking a little bit in the time, so we sealed them up. We also found a new mast boot. My dad found the system for a new mast boot, so we sealed the mast boot that used always to be leaking in the past. Luckily my dad is a sail guy, so he came over before I got into the boat and he took the rudder down and we changed the seal.
Let's introduce our friend there.
Yeah, hi Tarek. You see how distracted she is. It's possible to film a video if we're talking without like, hey look, there's people over there. Hey look, I did that. Going back inside. So then there's this thing I still need to do, which is installing this manual pump, which I haven't done yet. This is in case, there's a very big incident. We have a lot of water, everything shorts out, no more electricity to pump the water out of the boat. You do want and need to have a manual pump to give yourself a chance. So that need to install that. And then the motor, of course, you need to give some love to your motor, or do the oil change, change the filters, change all the little things on the motor to make sure it's gonna be running smoothly. That's about it. That's the main things we did this year to be able to cross the ocean. And then there's obviously the next chapter, which will be all the safety stuff that we got.
The question most people will ask, what about security? Is it safe? I mean, I guess we are crossing an ocean over 2,500 miles large, right? Cool.
So what about security? Security! Hugo will tell you about it.
Hey, security, safety. Well, the first thing is not the effort. The first thing is choose your weather. Don't leave on when you want to leave when you should leave. That's the first thing, and make good captain decisions of when to leave, where to leave, and which direction to go. That's the first most important thing for safety. Then we need all the other safety stuff. If everything goes wrong, then we have other stuff. So first we got a brand new Epper, a brand new one from this year. So it's full batteries that can tell our position to emergency service around the world if ever we're in distress of death. Then we have our InReach Mini, which is also a safety device that will also send our position in distress signal, but also satellite communication. So we have a text communication, text messaging that we can send out to other people, and that we can also send our position and, you know, send information like this, which you can also follow. So
My mom will be able to follow our journey, and then she'll feel more safe, which is also a good thing.
anybody will be able to follow our journey. So we'll post in the description a link where you can follow where we are on the Atlantic Ocean every 4 hours. This could be pretty good. Then,
Wow.
the other stuff. We got a SOS Danbu Hoy. It's a really great stuff. That's for man overboard. So it's a thing that you throw in the water. It will inflate itself, has a lead bottom and a strobe light on top. So this way, if anybody falls in the water, you throw it out, it will follow the current and not the wind, a little bit of both, but more like the person in the water. The person can swim to it and the boat can easily find it back. So in a night situation, that's the very important thing to have to try to find somebody if they fall overboard.
But what is the main rule?
The main rule is don't fall overboard. And we have a lot of rules. So for safety, we have a lot of safety rules. We can never go out of the cockpit alone. If you go out of the cockpit, you should ideally, unless it's good weather, always attach yourself to the boat. That's the main rule, and that's what that has the most chance of saving you, because once you're in the water, it's already too late. So your chances are very slim. Now, of course, we have, you know, what's called that?
Fire extinguisher.
And we have a bunch of them around the boat.
Oh yeah.
This is what holds my current flares and good old flares. I have another small set here of flares. A jackline kit. Never had that in my family sailing since the 70s, but I bought one for myself and we're gonna try to use it. And that's what we have on the boat for safety.
These.
Oh, obviously, PFDs with a leash goes with the jackline kit. We need to have some of those. We have a bunch of normal life jackets too. PFDs are great for that. And the other two important things I bought this year, I bought a sea anchor. And I bought a storm jib. We're gonna show you later. And the sea anchor, you know, after the storm last year, which was not fun. I bought a 200-page book that only talk about one thing to do in storm, and it is to hove to. So, and heaving to with a sea anchor is one of the best ways to be safe at sea in incredibly bad weather. Most important, we have a good, solid boat and a great crew.
I just stepped on your foot. I'm so sorry.
I can also hear you whisper the question from miles away. What are you going to eat?
What will we eat? What will we drink? How will we get water? That's exactly what I said!
I know, but she took 20 words. All she's trying to say.
Will we survive this crossing? Well, you know, we haven't done a crossing yet, but we've done it already, being in remote places without being able to provision for 2-3 weeks at a time. So we're not scared about that. We already provisioned this boat for a solid 4 months back when we were in the US. So here's where it's all hidden. Ta-da! Here is where all the food is hidden. You've seen it in our other episodes. We showed you what we put where, but that just gives you an idea of how much food we can take with us while we're sailing and while we're traveling.
And last but not least, obviously, we catch a lot of fish, and that's just the frozen fish we're gonna eat tonight. So our freezer is full of fish we catch.
And if I can take you through my personal sailing favorites, one thing I can't live without is my saltines crackers. So sometimes when the weather's rough and I'm tired, I get a little, you know, I feel a little queasy. So sometimes I will feed myself off of these saltine crackers for an entire day.
So when you see all the food here, that's already, we've been traveling for over 2 months. So we've been 2.5 months eating the food we bought in the US. So we can carry on the boat food for almost 4 to 5 months easy.
Oh, you were going to say something?
It took us 6 hours to store all the food we bought the other day. That's a lot of time.
Serious.
My favorite at sea? Beef jerky. Actually, this is great stuff to eat in the night.
And wine.
Of course, wine is very important. We bought 65 bottles at the beginning of the trip. And I think we're gonna have to buy more in Nassau to make sure we're ready for the trip.
And water.
Now, first we have stuff under the bed.
Oh. more stuff, mostly like drinks and cans hidden under there.
Actually, all the heavy stuff we try to put in the front of the boat to balance the boat.
Yeah.
And between our bed and the water tank, we actually store a lot of, cans and food and liquids.
And our water tank at the front holds 80 gallons of water. And we can hold another 10 gallons in our jerry cans that we store in our storage area out there.
Correct. So we carry at all time 95 gallons of water. So if we would be drinking that water, we could actually do over 2 months of...
Ta-da!
Entertainment! I mean, yeah, 2-3 weeks at sea can be long.
How will we stay entertained?
Hello again!
It's us again!
Who else?
I feel like influencers.
No. So we want to show you an amazing area of entertainment at sea. We have like
It's very
5
diverse.
gigabit per second internet. We can access any Netflix movies. No, we can't.
But we have a hard drive.
Correct. I've gathered over the years touring as a circus artist lots of movies. So everybody I would meet, I was asked them to have their movie on the hard drive. So I got lots of movies on the hard drive. Although at sea, watching a movie is gonna make you seasick if it's rough.
So we'll see if we will.
So entertainment, we have books. Obviously, we have a very nice library. Cards, Monopoly Deal, the best
Our
game
favorite
ever.
game.
Just the best.
If you don't know Monopoly Deal, do yourself a favor and get this game. All the good sides of Monopoly without all the bad sides.
We are not sponsored by Monopoly.
No, I just like it. Jungle Speed.
Also a great game. And good old Scrabble. Best way to make Alexia angry when she loses. And
I hate him.
Don't forget that on the boat, there's actually only 4 things to do every day. When you're sailing, you also have to trim the sails, arrange the sails and everything. But there's really only 4 things to do. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the dishes.
And another thing we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be working on our next big project. Right?
Correct. We want to ally our passion of sailing and our passion of shows together to create a show next year. So we're also going to be doing creation with using a lot of rum and Coca-Cola probably. We're going to be creating our next project, which is to make a show to make people live what it is to be at sea like us.
Which takes me to my next point.
Wanna help us with our future endeavors?
We're also trying to grow our community in order to get the show on the go, and it would help us tremendously if more people saw our videos and subscribe to our channel. You like our videos?
Please comment, like, share, and subscribe and help us bring our dreams and projects to reality.
In our next episodes, we'll be taking you through our first ocean crossing with our sailboat FOREVER MOOORE. Ready? Stay tuned for more pirate life adventures.
Ta-da!
Let's go.